In an ever-evolving digital landscape, for your business to thrive, you must adapt or die. Welcome to Marketing in the Age of AI, the podcast helping you harness the power of AI and marketing tools to revitalize and grow your business. And now here's your host, marketing expert and author of Authentic Marketing in the Age of AI, Emanuel Rose.
Welcome to this episode of Marketing in the Age of AI. Today we are broadcasting from the Great Plains of Saskatchewan, and we've got the Starlink connection, which is still warming up, so I might gap out a little bit, but Asif will carry the show, I have no doubt. We have Asif Hossain joining me. He is a seasoned innovator in applied AI, specializing in designing and deploying systems for mid-market companies. He takes a unique approach by treating AI as a fundamental infrastructure rather than just a trend. With a background in physics, Asif offers blunt insights into what really works in AI, how to implement it effectively, and the pitfalls to avoid. There we go. Asif, thanks for working through my Starlink issues, and
No
thanks
worries.
for coming onto the show today.
No worries. No worries.
Hey, you
Thank
and
you so
I
much
have
for
had,
having me. Sorry.
yeah, absolutely. It's my pleasure. And you and I have had so many great conversations. I think we must have met through Bordy.ai. Is that accurate? Do you remember
Oh
that?
my God. Yes. Yes. The AI that talks.
Yes. So that the Bordy was the connect, and since then you and I've had a number of great conversations, and I really appreciate your emotional intelligence and your empathy and the simple genius that you apply to AI. So thanks for spending time with me today.
Thank you. Thank you. I love our conversations about guitar, about music, about AI, about tech, about everything and anything. Specifically when we talk about applications that help companies bring together the chaos that they have once they've grown to a stage where it's just too much to handle. So yeah, definitely enjoy our conversations and looking forward to the more next.
Oh, I appreciate that. I'm wondering what kind of projects you're working on right now. What kind of deployments are you working on?
We're working on some very interesting products. So one of them is specifically with targeting, a little bit of data intelligence.
Uh-huh.
Um, Essentially, the state wants to find out that state of New York that where are there underinsured, uninsured people over 40 so that they can help them with free cancer screening.
Oh,
And in the state of New York, it's like everybody should have, ideally, they incentivize you to have health insurance. So, who are you that 5% of the population? And then how to market to you intelligently using AI.
okay.
So, that's been a
Interesting.
great one. And then another project has been for real estate companies where they have active blueprint data, hundreds of blueprint data, and then their associates need that information on the go, on their cell phone, on their leasing associates while on the floor. So just retrieval augmented applications where you just have data and you're retrieving the information. That's all.
That sounds pretty cool. The healthcare one. What are some of the tools that you're connecting up inside of that space?
Some of the tools are private and public data sources, essentially, starting from the census, starting from state of New York, health data that they have private and public. Um, there's multiple different government agencies who have data sources that are just chaotic. They just collect data, but there's not really a lot of data warehousing and designing of further, like down the line, like derivative applications from that. So bringing isolated siloed data back into one where like one database and then being able to query to it that where is this person And specifically for, let's say, upstate New York, there's many different counties where mindsets are different. That when the government shows up with free cancer screening or free something, one county will take it very positively, the other will definitely not. So how do we play with these psychographics and personas and get to the end goal, which is that we want to provide cancer services so that you don't feel like you're alone when, if, let's say, it never happens to anybody, but it does, unfortunately. So public private data pools, a lot of just bare bone data intelligence, like going through CSVs and then using our open models that are available, private or public, and being able to query to these conversations that where are these people, why are they not coming to us, um, and multiple different questions like that.
And then, which LLMs are you partial to right now in deployments like this?
Grok is a beast, for lack of words, but problem is that it will be very, like, the hallucinations are crazy. Like, if you do not give it proper context of, like, this is the guardrails where I want to stay, then it will give you derivatives that you really did not ask for, or you're just going in the wrong direction. Another one is that Claude recently had a problem that I don't know what they did to their models, but now it breaks more than it fixes. So GPT-5 code, GPT-5 codex, and GPT-5, it's like the daily workhorse. You can just work with it every day, and it has a context. Grok is my intelligence. It's essentially like take it from OpenAI's API output and then bring it to Grok, and then ask Grok that, hey, what are we doing here, for public non-PI info. And then once we are able to do that, we take that derivative and then the output of it, and then feed it to any private small models that we built on top of these companies' private information, so that we're not just giving it chaotic questions and it's has the whole world's context to answer. That way you burn through a lot of computing power and inference. So some things like that.
Yeah, well, talk a little bit more about context because I think that's an important thing that, let's say, beginners or people just getting started don't understand about how to get good answers out of any of the LLMs. Tell me a little bit.
See, that's a very good question. Recently in our stand up, I used a very great analogy on this. I was asking that you won't go to a 5-year-old and ask them what is differential equations and what is eigenfunctions. You have to teach a
Right.
5-year-old up to that point so that they can answer these questions. So same with your AI window. If you just go once and directly ask it a question, chances are high it will not give you a high quality output. There's so much knowledge and so much. Some of my friends and colleagues call it black magic. That information is out there, just in the corners of the world. That your old school veterans know these things, sales information and all that. So if you give it context, if you chat with it openly, and let it understand that what is it it's up against, because at the end of the day, all the AI is doing is guessing right now. Like, it's all guessing, assuming. So the more information you give it to be able to guess better, the context window doesn't matter where the context window sits. It is able to understand that, okay, this is what I need to answer. And right now, all these AI models have a, I call it a people pleasing problem, where they will affirm you no matter what you say versus what facts. So in your instructions, give it some small I call it instructions. Many people call it different things. There's like JSON instructions that you can give it, and let it understand that you want concise. Like, all my AIs have this in the background: concise, factual, truthful. Doesn't matter if it hurts me. Don't worry about my emotions. We're here to do business. So I don't know if that helps.
Yeah, that's good. So, I mean, we call it like maybe some foundational custom GPTs, right? So that you're referencing these structures, and then continuing to create more guardrails so that you're hopefully getting better better answers and actually speeding up the process.
Token optimization. That's
Uh-huh.
exactly what. Um, when you use AI nowadays, you'll see that ChatGPT will tell you how much time it has used to get to the answer. So
Yep.
just optimizing for the token usage. That way you're not spending your life away to get to the wrong answer. And then you're out of tokens, you're computing power is used up and then you don't have what you needed.
Right. Yeah. It's like dumping your water heater out on the driveway, right? And you can't take a shower.
Yes, 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 exactly.
Well, give me a little bit on the origin story of Obido. Is that how you say that word?
Obito
Obido.
Digital, yes.
Yeah, Obido Digital. What was the impetus for a guy who was a physics major?
Friends and I, two of my friends and I, we were consulting together with private companies and we were doing good work. But at the end of the day, we were still private contractors. COVID came, and then that market took a huge hit where everybody went remote. So companies really didn't see the value in private contracting because all their W-2s were essentially as like a contractor. So what we thought of is that what if we position ourselves like a managed service provider where we get longer contracts, bigger value. Our value is not in 1 quarter, 3 quarters, but our plans are with companies for annual. So what if we do that? So we started working with a smaller telco company in that model, and it started working. So just like I've seen many businesses having this story that the first check came in, and us three were just looking at it like, wait, we need an LLC so that it doesn't like go into one person. Like there's three people's name. That's not how it works. So we need an LLC. So we're all anime fans. And Naruto is a famous anime. There's a character in there called Obito Uchiha. So like randomly we just needed a name. And I figured that wait, this word has two O's in each end. Design wise, it looks centered. Let's play with it. So we went with Obito LLC, Obito Digital, and here we are.
All right, I love it. Also, if you'll tell me, I'd love to hear about kind of like what your personal AI project is that's not client driven, but it's Asif's little secret project.
Right now, I'm playing with um, it's very early stages. So when you use a quantum algorithm, it kicks off using random guesses. So I'm trying to see if we can build some guardrails. Um, I guess my middle name could be guardrails. Like I just that's all I do, like figuring out guardrails where to stay. Guardrails for quantum algorithms when they start off so that they're not using up all or most of their computing power just to understand where do we stand. So that's independent research should be publishable. So when it happens, we'll definitely have a chat on that. Private that, and also another one would be using all the algorithms we learn in school for machine learning, like Monte Carlo, like all the like different types of models, and feeding your marketing data through them, and then giving your average digital marketer an understanding of where do I stand against my Google Ads, Meta Ads, Smart Bidding, Advanced Shopping, call it whatever, Performance Max. What do I need to do for me to maximize my cost per click, my cost per conversion, and essentially get to sales?
Nice. All right. Well, those are two pretty heady topics. So I'm excited to have you back on to talk about those when you're
Absolutely.
ready to shine some light on it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Now, last question is we've seen that recent study that said 95% of CEOs are not satisfied with ROI on projects, and I think there's a little bit of a drawback in the marketplace. What I'm seeing and hearing, um, I guess. What do you see as kind of like let's ask this top three things that a CEO should be thinking about if they haven't started with AI deployments, but they got the FOMO and they got the budget and they want to get going?
That's a very good question. So a recent project of ours, what happened is the gentleman has his own jujitsu like martial arts gym. He has his business that we were talking about, but he's also a martial artist, purple belt, etc. I roll with him. And his problem was that he's a COO, but he's also his phone number's on the Google business profile of the jujitsu gym. So he's managing jujitsu gym and COO of a bigger corporation, hundreds of millions of dollars. So I see him and we're buddies and we're talking and he's just going through, yes, the gym's open today. Okay, we'll talk later. So I was like, why don't we do a voice agent for you? Like, we're not selling here, we're buddies. Let's talk about AI. Voice agent, are you interested? He was a little, maybe, let's see. And then we implemented a phenomenal voice agent, and that was the phone number. His phone number went away for SMS for his website chatbot. His father fell sick for some time, so he was not able to get on by his phone, but he still went to the gym because to keep his head clear. And I meet him 3 months later, and he says to me that, Asif, oh my God, I would go to the gym and I would meet people that I've never talked with, but they're new and they're showing up because they're talking to the AI. They have all the info and they're just showing up. My business is making money. Can you do the same thing for us, but much broader for our bigger company, where I don't want my people bogged down by small operational, hey, scheduling conflicts, small stuff. Can we take care of that stuff? And now we're scoping out the scope of work together, that what is it that needs to be built. So that 5% is what is it that needs to be built. The 95% is usually the feel good. I think I might need this. I don't know if this is our problem. So there's many questions that get answered, but they're not really the problems that are driving your revenue. So that's been my mantra, that solve your problem. Where's your
Yep.
problem? Like,
Right.
so solving instead of selling.
Yep. No, I agree, and I think what I've seen is that there's a lot of FOMO. Obviously, there's a big bubble around what we're doing, but the strategic planning process tends to get rushed through rather than embraced, and that's where that lack of ROI rears its ugly head. I think is that they're just building shiny things instead of solving actual business problems.
What's happening is that most companies are taking their whole database and putting a model on top of that without labeling, which has been the biggest debate in the AI world, that better labeling, lower cost of labeling. How can we do this? How can AI label itself without using a human label it? So labeling, structuring your data in such a way that moment you hit any model, doesn't matter which one, just to ask queries and then build other outputs using those like outputs of those queries. So you're right. Like, it cannot be rushed. It's not something that you rush through using your whole company's knowledge base. And then when it's giving you wrong answers, mixing things together, like, it's the same thing when you bring a worker and then don't train them. And then day
Right.
4, you're throwing them on the board meeting and they're just lost. Like,
Yeah.
what? Am I in the right room?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes, sir.
Well, I really appreciate your time. I know you're very busy,
Sure.
and I cherish every one of our conversations. Thank you so much for spending time with me.
Of course, man. I cherished our conversations. They're always great. I hope guitar's going well, and we'll chat.
All right, and if people want to get in touch with you, we'll get Obido Digital in the show notes, and we'll make it easy for them to find you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Manuel.
Okay, thank you, Asif. Have a great day.
You as well.
Okay, thanks. I love it. I love talking to Asif and understanding from the deployment stage that you want to have a good plan. You want to label your data correctly. You want to take some of these projects bit by bit rather than the whole bite of elephant or the entire elephant all at the same time. I hope you found some value today in this conversation. I also hope that you take some time to discover some AI tools that may be able to free up your time the way that the jiu-jitsu practitioner was able to, and with that time you continue to upskill, that you spend that time with your friends and family, and that you get outside in nature, feel the wind on your face, and get your feet in the dirt, and enjoy being human, because it is a finite experience, and I want you to enjoy every bit of it. This is Emanuel Rose, Marketing in the Age of AI.
Thanks for listening to Marketing in the Age of AI. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast so you never miss a future episode. Your copy of Authentic Marketing in the Age of AI is available at Amazon.com or EmanuelRose.com. You can also connect with Emanuel on LinkedIn. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.